Here in this course, we will go with the course outline which is shared by center with you. Okay, this all course outlines you already have. And do you have this course outline with you?
I had gone through, I'd seen it before, but it's not open up right now.
Okay, not an
Yeah.
issue. So doesn't matter. So when we talk about solution architect, what do you think that what is the role of solution architect? What do you think that what should be a solution architect?
Well, so a solution architect should be someone who could kind of like guide customers uh, who are about to have a D365 implementation to kind of like guide them on how to set up their whole environment, starting setting up and configuring the whole environment, starting from the ALM and so on, everything which has to be done, even with hooking up environment with DevOps and configuring development environments, and also kind of like giving direction as to possible customizations which the client would like to make on the D365 implementation, kind of like guide them on
Mm,
how to go about these customizations, or also any integrations which they want to do, or yeah, just guide uh,
correct, correct. So solution
reflect.
architect is the person who actually works along with the project manager and program manager and delivery architect, as you seen in the graph. He is the one who actually decide that how this solution going to address and how a business or a customer get benefit maximum with the solution. So he's the one who actually design the pathway of any solution. As written on your screen, the solution architect leads successful implementation and focus on how solution addresses the broader business and technical need of the organization. The solution architect is a key member of overall project team. So as you can see that he is just next to project manager. So the role is very important. Project manager drives the entire project. Delivery architect drive the deliveries. Whether solution architect is the one who actually a bridge between a delivery architect and project manager and the program manager. It's a very important role for you. So can I know that which organization you are working at this time? On a smaller organization or on a manufacturing organization or end client, this solution architect role is not present. Why it is not present? Because the project manager drives this solution architect role. Project manager is the one who actually decide that what is required, and they have to discuss with the key stakeholder and core team members that okay, we want this solution, it should be like this, and discuss with the project manager of the implementation partner. And definitely implementation partner have a solution architect who design everything for the customer. In a larger organization, the solution architect will likely work with enterprise architect that focus on a bigger picture. Often the solution architect will rely on the enterprise architect to ensure that the solution that is being designed fit with the broader organization plan. So it's a combination between a solution architect and enterprise architect. I'm coming to the another part. You have Power Apps experience.
Yeah, yeah, I do have
That is
Power
that
Apps
is more than
experience.
sufficient for this. And do you have Azure experience too?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And definitely you have SQL knowledge because you are a developer too, right?
Yeah.
Key task of a solution architect is solution envision. What is solution envisioning? So once we talk about that, inventing any solution, because normally you are a developer, you are a good developer for your end customer. But when you talk about solution envisioning, that comes with the broader prospect of the organization, so that the key goal of an organization will meet. Essentially, this task involved looking at the problem and identified which part can take advantage of one of the Dynamics app, what I am doing is I am giving you a brief today that okay, overall the course will how we going to drive the entire course, right? When we talk about solution envisioning, there are a app available for a particular customization which you are going to deliver for your client. So rather than doing a customization, you can suggest that app is available and it is well functioning, and you can use that app. So that is called solution envisioning, right? Similarly, that which part need to build by by using Microsoft Power Platform or Microsoft Azure. So there are certain times when you say that okay, this particular activity is can handle by Power Platform easily, like releasing a sales order or anything else. Just a vague example, so that this particular activity can handle by Power Platform as, and a small development on Power Platform will omit the entire a huge development in your FNO. Traditionally, a developer-focused architect would start with custom development and low-level Microsoft Azure services. A business application-focused solution architect will instead start with the Dynamics 365 and Power Platform and then use Microsoft Azure to address any gap. When you talk about the solution provisioning, that the all combination of your Azure, Power Platform, and Dynamics 365 will give you a broader picture to handle any particular requirement. When we talk about a solution architect applies knowledge and experience through an engagement and will also perform proactive and preventive work to increase the value of the customer investment and promote organization health. So when we talk about, like, there are certain times when you started your development and you come to know that okay, this may deliver in a different way where we can utilize that development in a better fashion that may comes in your past history. That is the role of a solution architect. This role requires the ability to identify opportunities to solve business problem. The solution architect is often through of a trusted advisor who consult with organizations and implement who consult with the organization and implementation team members to refine business needs into a well-defined and cost-effective solution. Now I am jumping to the module wise, that what are going to be used. In this module, we will focus on overall of Dynamics 365 app, Microsoft Power Platform, and Azure, all with which you should be familiar. Soft skills of a solution architect, common activities in which a solution architect participates as the project progress, pillar and well-structured business application architect. When we talk about a power platform, the low code platform that spans Office 365, Azure, Dynamics 365, and standalone applications. There are lots of standalone applications available on Microsoft platform. Like you can use in some cases you can use Power BI, you can Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Visual Agents, data connectors, AI Builder, data traverse. This is all together a role of a solution architect, that how he is going to handle and the entire content available on Microsoft to deliver a cost effective and widely used application. I'm not talking about Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Data Connectors, AI Builder, Microsoft Dataverse, Power Visual Agents here, because these all things you already know. Do you want to discuss anything about all these things?
Yeah, well, so again, I've been working with the Power Platform. Yeah, we can go over it. We can discuss. Just
Right,
briefly
because
go over it.
anyway, you already used Power BI. Have you
Yeah, I
used it?
have. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that's great. So if you use Power BI, all these comes in a bundle, so not an issue. We can go over it so that we
Yeah,
can.
so yeah, I think we can. So the only thing which I kind of like have never used intensely is Power Virtual Agents. If we can Yeah, we can skip the Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate side of things. I use that pretty much almost every
Mhm.
day. So
Not an issue. So Microsoft Power Virtual Agents improve customer and employee satisfaction, lower support cost, and bolster employee productivity within power of AI. Nowadays lots of AI available in the market, Chat GPT and anything. You don't know all these AIs available. So now Microsoft is also introducing lots of virtual agents in there to support lots of activities, which we can explore it in the AI section, and even that FNO and Navision has a connector to connect with ChatGPT. Have you
yeah,
heard about that?
yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah.
Okay, and that's doing really good. Even some of the organization try to develop a connector to raise the invoices through Chat GPT.
To raise invoices.
Right, raise invoices through Chat GPT.
Oh, okay.
So empower business user to provide an easy to use solution to create and manage virtual agents oblique boards without having to write codes. SaaS-based Power Virtual Agent use the flexibility and scalability of Microsoft Power Platform with the power of AI to provide an extensible and customizable solution that is suitable for any customer service scenario. So once we talk about here, you see that a BI and BI, that you have to put the data and the graph and everything is going to be like that. Power App is specifically used for Power App, Power Automate to do a specific task on a certain trigger. Here in virtual agent, what we have that we can use this virtual agents to do AI part, which going to be a future of D365 FNO. So when we talk about Dynamics 365 model-driven apps, Dynamics 365 model-driven apps are descended by customer relationship CRM. The D365 app are modern driven apps that are built for Dataverse platform like D365 sales, customer service, field service, marketing. All these apps are available now. So when we talk about here Dataverse, so now you know why Microsoft is increasing their sales just because of adding all these things in their feather. D365 sales enable you to build a strong relationship with the customer, take action based on insight, and close sales faster. This activity is going to be taken by the AI also. In Dynamics 365, customer service allow you to earn customers for life, build greater customer relationship by focusing on optimum customer satisfaction with the customer service app. Customer service provide many features and tools that you can use to manage the services that you provide to the customer. Similarly, D365 field service help you to deliver on-site service to customer location. The application combines workflow automation, scheduling algorithm, and mobility to set up mobile works for success when they are on site with customer to fix issues. And last, Dynamic 365 Marketing is a marketing automate application that helps turn prospect into business relationship. The app is straightforward, works seamlessly with the Dynamics 365 for sales and has built-in business intelligence. Use the D365 marketing to create graphical emails, messages, share information across sales and marketing team and more. So now these all four small dataverse platform, these are helping and our customers and user both to do the work faster and effective manner. Okay, so I have a question for you that have you ever worked on LCS?
LCS, yeah.
Okay,
Life cycle
and
services, yeah.
right, and have you started a project from the scratch?
Not really.
Not really. So what did you do on LCS?
So on LCS, mainly like creating, like for example, provisioning. So create the main things I've done there is like creating a VM for development, and then configuring the data lake
Hmm.
add in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's basic.
That's
That's
great.
pretty
That's
much.
great. That means you have a little bit exposure of LCS. So there are a part where we can discuss about LCS too, so that your present experience will help me to not drill down the topic too much. And do you have exposure of FNO functional?
Yeah. So the finance model.
Oh yeah, you completed MB310, right?
Yeah.
So you have exposure of finance module, right? So once we talk about, there are few applications which are decent in an ERP, that is D365 Commerce, D365 Finance, D365 Human Resource, D365 Supply Chain. So altogether, it is merge and doing similar AI and everything is going to be added in this. Once we talk about additional product and services, which we here mention all these things. So once we talk about additional product and services, we have app sources, Azure DevOps, Dynamic 365 Customer Insight, Dynamic 365 Fraud Protection, T365 guides, remote assistance, customer voice, and mixed reality. Mixed reality, the result of blending the physical word with the digital word. Mixed reality is the next evolution in human computer and environment interaction, and unlock possibilities that before now were reacted to our imaginations, restricted to our imagination. Sorry about that. It is made possible by advancement in the computer vision, graphic processing power, display technologies, and input system. So here what happened that now lots of AI applications are added here. Power Virtual Agent have lots of capability to do lots of things. So here are some expectations of a solution architect. To be successful, a solution architect should be capable of performing several soft skills. This unit exposes some of these key skills. Those who aspire to be a business application solution architect should spend time on project observing how the project solution architect engage. The best solution architect learn from blending experience from many projects along with lesson learned from their success and failures. So, how many projects you have implemented till now, and what is the maximum duration of a project?
Well, so I've used so I'm a contractor. Usually been in for like a year
Mm-hmm.
approximately. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's good. And all these experience as a developer, right?
Yeah. So it's a mixture as developer, data migration. Yeah, but so predominantly developer.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great. So you already have that exposure with you. So you four project is a quite good experience as a developer, which you can easily use in your solution architect soft skills. So there are certain areas where you develop a code which is very tricky and you find it to do it in a smarter way. So all these things comes in your solution architect role. You got my point?
Yeah.
Likewise, I said that the power app use of a power app or any other apps available to bypass the any requirement, any major customization requirement. Use the Power Automate to do the routine job or fixed trigger job. All these things comes in your solution architect role. Always remember this picture in your mind, that solution architect is next to program manager, project manager, and delivery architect.
Am I going to get this slide or this
Mhm.
Word document?
You will have at the end
Okay.
of the session. I will share these all these content with you so that you can easily go through with in your weekdays. So that if you have any doubt, any queries, you can come and talk to me on your session.
Okay. Yeah.
So we are here. Collaboration. While some items are produced solely by the solution architect, most of the delivery will involve collaboration with other team members. If you like to work alone and are not a good team player, being a solution architect might not be an ideal role for you. Why I'm telling you that if you have, I always say that you have to keep the picture in your mind that you are parallel to lots of other activities. When you say that this is something which I deliver and develop and deliver, that's the role of a developer only, not a role of a solution architect. When you talk about solution architect, you have to work in a team. You have to find out the smarter way and the faster way and the better effective way to deliver any solution. Solution architect need to be comfortable asserting their expertise while simulation not rejecting ideas of other team members. You have to listen each team member carefully, and these are the soft skills which we are talking about. You should look for the other to respect you because of your demonstration knowledge and expertise, not because of you demanded it due to your role. A solution architect should be good at the negotiation, positive outcome for challenges with both the customer and project team. So when you talk about solution architect, I say that you are a bridge between a customer and the project team, and you are the one who actually need to play a good team member role. You have to listen each team members because there might be a good solution lying with any of the team members and who can deliver this thing in a better fashionable way. So while you are doing as a solution architect role, just leave the past as a developer behind. You got my point? As size of the project team increase, so the need of better coordination. Much of this situation can be handled by the team leads and the project manager. However, the solution architect generally has the best overall understanding of the complex technical issues that cross teams. For example, working with the data migration team and the team that is customizing the data model to ensure that they are ready for a dry run of a data migration. So you know that what is dry run, right?
Yeah.
Solution architects should be skilled at driving concerns across the parties involved. This is a very key role. As a solution architect, you have to be on a position where you understand that what developer is going to deliver, what functionally is going to provide the solution, and now what is the customer demanded. So that's the overall a very exposed position where you all the skills required in one person, and still you have a project manager and a developer and a functional person and the customer side project manager talking to you. So this is something, a combination of the entire project driving around you. Now the main important thing is communication. As a solution architect, you need to be adapt the communicating across many different channels, including diverse audience from technical to all business focus. You may have to discuss with the all core team members from the customer too, so that you can easily understood that what is the solution is required and how the best it can be. You know that there are multiple possible deliveries you can deliver, like you may use a app for a particular solution. You may customize it. You can do it from the SQL part too. Successful solution architect can translate a technical problem or design to a non-technical business user. Excellent listening skills are essential to understand what others are saying, including being proficient to asking probing questions to clarify and get to the main cause of the topic being discussed. Both written and verbal communication skill are must. So once we talk about that, you understand the problem, but you cannot communicate properly with your developer or you cannot communicate properly to the stakeholders. That's the issue you have. Sometimes you don't listen customers or a developer properly, thoroughly, by heart. So that's the problem for you. Constructive feedback. A large part of the solution architect role involves reviewing and providing feedback on project deliveries. This responsibility range from requirement to technical design and technical implementation. The solution architect must be adept at identifying problem without causing the receiver of the feedback to react defensively. It is not necessary that if a customer raise a complaint that you should go defensive and ask. This is like to be. This is a Microsoft product, and this is how it is going to be behave like this. This is not your role, not at all. The solution architect should be a leader in promoting constructive feedback session across the team and lead by example. Last but the most important, solving achievement. As a solution architect, you should be willing and able to accept interesting challenges. Often, the problem that reach the solution architect will be toughest on the project. Typically, these problems are one that other teams have already tried to solve. Solution architect must be skilled at breaking down complex problem into smaller ones that can be solved. Having the ability to differentiate between a problem symptoms and cause will help the solution architect solve the problem more directly. Ultimately, it is the adaptability of a solution architect that makes them successful on the project, because one project is never like the next. You implemented 4 different projects, so each project is different for you. Challenges are different for you, and customers are different for you. Yes, you can add on your experience to the next project, like, okay, this report I developed it in such a fashion, it is working perfectly fine in my past project, so why don't we do it here? That's the add-on, you can do it, but each product required a different aspect and a different way to work. Solution architect should be endless optimized and feel that their team can tackle any challenge. A solution architect needs to be mindful that their attitude, both positive and negative, is reflect across the team, because you are the one who actually dealing with the 4 different aspects of the team. So your positive attitude and your negative attitude will drive the entire team. The solution architect collaboration, communication, and feedback style also heavily influence the other on the project. As a solution architect, you need to realize that the broader project team depend on you. Therefore, you must lead by example. So now comes to the project part, that how and where the solution architect role is started. When we talk about solution architect role, a solution architect daily role on the customer project will vary gently with the size, approach, and phase of the project. This unit exposes some of the common project activities that a solution architect will either be responsible for or at a minimum participate in. The discussion here will be without regards to a specific implementation methodology. So you know that there are different methodology, like implementation methodology. Have you gone through with that?
Difference? Sorry, come again.
So implementation methodology.
Yeah, yeah,
Which type
yeah.
of implementation methodology you have? You use
Agile.
okay, agile. Okay. So there are other type of implementation methodology you know. Any of other
Uh,
than agile?
yeah, I've worked with waterfall before, but that's a long time ago.
Hmm. And what lead you to use agile? It is by choice or it's by force?
So by what? Sorry, I didn't get it.
I say that you use agile.
Hmm.
So it is by choice or it's customer wish?
Well, customer.
Mhm.
Like honestly, like the recently, I haven't any ever in the recent years, like the last 6, 8 years, I haven't run into any customer who is not doing agile. Maybe
And
it's
right,
just my experience, but yeah. So
great.
it's mostly from the customer. Yeah.
And you work on manufacturing modules too?
No, that's a part which I've actually never touched in Dynamics
Okay, not an issue.
manufacturing.
Now we are talking about next few things without any specific implementation methodology. So pre-sales is the one where normally your roles will start in a different aspect, that request for a proposal, response, introduction, customer meeting, proof of concept. Here everywhere solution provisioning, envisioning. So all these things is a pre-sale part. Pre-sale part means that when you are coming to any gold partner or anything, when you actually coming to the other side of the table. So pre-sale activity is one activity where your role is started. The primary activity of a pre-sale supporting the sales team on landing the project. Occasionally, the solution architect is decide to pre-sale activity. In other cases, solution architect are only pulled in as needed. With pre-sales, the focus is on the minimal effect that is required to land the project, while ensuring that the sales team does not oversell what you can deliver. Activities during these phases of the engagement can primarily be customized as follows. First, you have request for proposal, RFP response, introductory customer meeting, proof of concept or demos. You have a demo environment.
I don't.
Okay, so you have a customer environment with you,
Yeah, I have a customer involved.
and customer does have a demo environment.
Well, not that I'm aware of. No, not that I'm aware of.
Mhm.
The current project I'm working on, I pretty much almost newly joined the team, so yeah, I don't
Do you
yet.
have LCS access of the current project?
LCS, yes, I do.
So you can check that LCS has a cloud environment associated or not, and you can easily check that what are the development environment they have if you have
Yeah, so
LCS.
I have a development environment, a cloud hosted environment. I do have. That's what I
Right,
use.
and it's running 24 into 7, or it's a time based running or on demand running cloud
Sorry,
environment. The
it's a
cloud
cloud
environment, it's a
hmm?
cloud environment. The cloud environment is running 24 into 7, or it's running on demand.
It's on demand.
On demand, okay.
Yeah,
Why
it's
I ask you that?
configured. They
Mhm.
usually pause it. Yeah.
Why I ask you that, if you require to practice some sessions and anything, that in that case you required a demo environment.
Okay, is it not provided in the training or
In the
I'll have
training,
to?
you can have a very limited time demo environment, 120 minutes or something like that, which you can have. But this 120 minutes is not sufficient for you.
Okay, so it's 120
Mhm.
minute. Is it per day or is it per week or how does that look like?
So now I'm jumping to the LCS environment right now. So this is already in a test and development stage. So I will not recall it, but there are certain things which I have to explain you. So once you say that configure the Azure environment, so here are the different tasks which we have. Once we say that configure the Azure, we have set up the Visual Studio. This is for your development that you already did it. Okay, and now here you can see that
Configure Azure DevOps. Oh,
just want I show you.
okay. So let me.
This is deploying demo environment.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've deployed environments before. Yeah.
Now it is visible to you. Deploying demo
Sorry.
environment here. In deploy demo environment, here you can find out that cloud hosted environment which you have, so that you can check it. So there are different phases like analysis, design development, test, deploy, and operate. Every phase required a certain key activities we have to perform, and start doing the LCS configuration part. Once we come on the test and development environment, then we will have a UAT environment with us. Now coming back to the a key skill for a solution architect in this phase of a project is the ability to communicate with all level of a customer organization. Often solution architect translate technical topics into more business focused discussion. Solution architect must also be skilled to answer questions in a way that is accurate but does not create two more questions for everyone answered. So this is the one. You are saying something?
No, no, no.
Okay, okay. I say echo from my side. So this is the one thing that you important that you should answer the question that no more questions arrived. So, for example, if customer asks you to say something, to deliver something, and you say that okay, this app can help you. Now customer may ask that okay, what else I can do it with this? How you have to answer customer's query so that more questions will not arise. While solution architects are not required to be an expert of product licensing, they should have a grasp of the implication of licensing for their proposed solution. For example, if you say that, okay, this app may help you, but that might require direct licensing. So that aspect you have to know that, okay, this solution is having any license implication or not. In some cases, they might be required to architect within the license constraint for what a customer has purchased or is willing to purchase. For example, customer don't have a manufacturing module and or any other module. You are providing a solution which required a licensing of a manufacturing module. So your solution will not work over there. That's how you have to handle it. There are different in this phase, a skilled solution architect can spot opportunities that the rest of the sales team might have missed and then highlight these opportunities to the team to allow upskills of services. Alternatively, solution architect can suggest different approaches that might better address a requirement or need. Initiations. Initiation cover the start of a project after signing off or probably the start of a new significant sprint of. At this stage, the solution architect focus in on helping the project manager, staff, project team, and find the right mix of resource to complete the work. The solution architect will also be responsible for putting a place the methodology, life cycle management, and other key project items. Then comes to the analysis and design phase. While the solution architect might not be capturing every requirement, they are involved and often lead customer workshop to identify the key work stream. As the project progress into the design of the solution architect takes the lead. Depending on the methodology that is used, some of the work might be completed upfront or more commonly done with each sprint oblique iteration in more agile like customer workshops, requirement validation and clarification, high level architect, detailed solution architect, review technical designs, change management. These are the different things. As a developer, I may think that you know all these things and need not to discuss about that. Do you want to discuss it more about this?
No, no, no. Actually, no.
Mhm. Then coming to the implementation part, this is the most critical part. By this point, the solution architect has set the path that is implementation team will follow, and the role switch more to helping the project manager ensure that the team continue with the specific plan and architect. You know that LCS part is always help us as a solution architect that what is the next, what is the next. So if you we follow the LCS properly, then all these activity will smoothly done. So that's a very much design very carefully by lots of brain. LCS we have to follow. That's what I shown you the LCS part, that okay, what are the things, because you haven't do it from the scratch, so that might not give you some glimpse, because usually you do to switch on or switch off the environment or associate the Azure environment for LCS in a running project, or bring the production environment in a maintenance mode or something like that. These are the activities which you are doing with the LCS at present. Have you bring your production environment on a maintenance mode anytime?
Nope, nope.
Hmm. Do you know that what is the role of making it in a maintenance mode?
Yeah, like when you are doing, for example, a deployment, do a
Right.
deployment
And
or
other
an
aspect is
upgrade.
that, right, for any upgrade, for any implementation, or changing anything which is dimension related. So, if you want to change or alter any dimension of the organization, then you have to bring it in a maintenance mode. This task includes participating in and facilitating in reviews with the team to ensure that implementation is meet the architect. In addition to conducting reviews with the customer to ensure that the solution is meeting their needs. So delivering a solution and customer meet requirement mapping is one of your key role. The solution architect is also instrumental in problem solving because the challenge will often span multiple teams, and the solution architect is one of the few people who understand all the moving part across the team. When we say about all the moving part across the team, what do you think that what this phrase says? All the moving part across the team. Don't hesitate to say that no idea. Don't worry. When we say that all the moving part across the team, that you may have a developer, you may have a report writer, you may have a functional team member. So you are the one who actually know that who is doing what at this time, so that like a functional is changing a configuration, whether a developer is doing some development on the same module, and functional changes the configuration, now the development is not working properly, so you are the one who actually have to know that which team member is doing what, so that those will going to be in sync. I have a similar problem with me, that one of my developer is doing development on one particular module, and similar way one of my functional have a requirement to make the requirement mandatory. They change the configuration part, and have, okay, this my problem is solved, but developer is developing something on the same module, and now his delivery is not working. So he came to know that okay, some changes made in the configuration. So I let him know that okay, this is the change we made on the functional part. Now it is going to be a fix for this customer. So you have to change your delivery as per the requirement. This is all the moving part across the team. The solution architect will work with the quality assurance team to ensure that the testing that is performed exercise all part of architect, including disaster recovery and performance testing. Also, change management is still at the top of the list activity because increasing scope during implementation can give a negative impact on the success of a project. Have you faced this change management? As you are on a customer side, you know that most of the time you deliver something, and while after delivering, now requirement get changed.
Yep.
So this is how we have to handle it, because any change management is always give you a negative impact of a delivery. So this is to overcome all these things, you have to reduce the change management and be strict on the part that change management will not happen. If it is happen, then it should be move the entire project on a different direction. Then your role is on delivery side too. As a project team moves closer to handling of all the part of solution, a delivery team is typically put in place. So once any delivery is come, then you should be on the delivery side too, that this particular delivery is as per the requirement or not. This team might consist of a virtual team of participants from all teams of the project. The solution architect is involved in the helping the team build development team and validate the plan. Regarding the implementation phase, the solution architect is often best positions of triggering problems and arise during development. The solution architect might also participate in advising the business on a go or no go decision. So once we talk about delivery, it is important role. Then comes to the operation part, which is your last part. As the system moves into production and then into daily operation, a solution architect won't have a lot to deal with until enhancements are made that need design or bug are found that must be fixed. So once project is delivered, you can be on relax mode until unless it's found to be a bug or any enhancement required. Pillar of a great architect. The cloud has changed how business applications for organization are designed and implemented. As a result, solution architect can now be pulled together from one or more SaaS services that are working together to form a complete solution. In solving customers' business problem, solution architects should be comfortable using the following services to build their overall solution. We talk about all these things in a very first slide. Dynamics 365, Microsoft 365, app sources extended with Microsoft Power Platform, Microsoft Azure. You might not think that Microsoft 365 may take an important role in your D365, or an app can have a good role in your D365 environment. But it is like, if you can send a mail using your Exchange services, then why you required to develop it in your D365? That's an example. Similarly, your Power Platform can do a routine job for you, like Power Automate or anything. Power Automate will trigger something for you automatically, which required manual intervention. So you can trigger it through Power Automate. That's how you have to showcase everything. Azure is also one of key aspect, that lots of things are now comes in Azure platform, which is associated with your D365. So that comes from there itself. Do you have this backend access of your project, SQL access?
In what do you mean?
Do you have SQL access of your project?
No, no. Well, my developer VM, I do
In
have
developer VM, you
SQL.
can have SQL access, but not on the live. So how do you handle that thing?
Well, I'll do it through the data lake if I want to.
Right.
Yeah, I'll do it through the data lake.
Do you know there is a license for accessing the data too? So
Oh,
you can do
really?
it. Yeah, it's really. That's what I ask a
Oh, wait.
specific question.
Okay. So, is that access read only or is it read and write?
There are certain relationships, but it is read and write too. You
Okay.
cannot bypass the relationship, but you can do whatever you have access in your development environment. Same access you can have on live environment too, but the license is
Okay.
required.
Okay, because yeah, that's very interesting because we are in the project which I'm working on, we are actually doing some data migration, and that came up as a problem. So there's one of the systems which we're migrating data from, and it's kind of like taking a very long time. Okay, so they're still doing, we're mostly doing um, UAT testing.
Even you have Excel plugins which you can easily use for your data migration.
Yeah, that so we also use the Excel plugin, but it's kind of like slow. So it's kind of like slow. So let's say we're trying to post general ledger entries. The experience which we've had with the Excel plugin is like when we're trying to upload data, if you try in one chunk to kind of like upload more than 15,000 records while uploading to the general ledger, it tends to be extremely slow. Like anything above 15,000 ends up by crashing, or we have some problem.
Right,
Uh,
right.
yeah, so the customer is kind of like concerned. We are still in UAT. They're kind of like concerned that when we are going to be doing the actual production deploy migration. They're kind of like concerned with the timeline. So that was a question which popped up. Like they were wondering if we could somehow go about the migration in a different way, like direct SQL access. So their thinking is, well, this is not from the client. Well, of course, the client is asking us, like, what if so how we can make the whole process to be a little bit faster. What I was thinking, the first thing which came to my head was, okay, maybe we could do it directly with SQL access. Of course, you would have to know exactly which tables in Dynamics to touch if you're trying to do inserts and so on, because of all the validations and so on. You have to deal with all of that
Right.
complexity,
Right.
but we're trying to see if that's even possible. Yeah. So that's kind of like interesting to know that there is a way to. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Design a great business application solution. While one single blueprint does not exist for illustrating what a great business application should solution architect look like, certain concept will apply regardless of the unique customer challenges that you are solving. While the following sections do not provide a complete list, focusing on these concepts will help you to build a better solution.